All right, guys, welcome back to 12 About Town. Today, we have a huge milestone, 40 years. They are celebrating. We've got Brian Shepard, the CEO of UNOS, here talking about their organ center. So we've got the organ center and we have organ sharing. Let's start with the organ center. What is that?
So the Organ Center is really the heartbeat of UNOS and the way that we support and connect the organ donation and transplant community. The Organ Center is a 24/7 support center that helps match donated organs for transplant with candidates all over the country. And they've been doing that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 40 years now, right here in Richmond.
Wow, and no days off. You guys are doing amazing work. So that was the Organ Center. So how does UNOS work with the sharing part of it? How does that fit into all of this?
So UNOS really is the engine that drives donation and transplant in the United States. We don't do the transplants and we don't recover the organs, but we manage the waiting list to determine who gets which donated organ while they're waiting for transplant. So all the candidates for transplant in the United States who are waiting for organs are in our database. And whenever a donor becomes available, that donor's information goes into that same database, and it's the UNOS computer system that matches that donor organ with a candidate who's waiting.
Man, that's a tough job. I mean, I know that waiting list gets extensive at some point, and having to filter out, who's here or who makes the top of the list, that's a tough job.
We have a whole system of volunteer doctors, professionals, and patients who all work together on committees. They study data, and they draw up the algorithms that really drive this. Because you're right, it's a tough job. You can't make that decision in the moment to just look at two patients and say, I wonder who deserves this more. There's a very rigorous system that goes through, that makes clinical medical calculations and bases the offers on this on the rules that our patients and doctors have developed together.
Yeah. So are there any ways that people, like just regular people, can help and get involved?
Sure. The easiest way to get involved is to go to registerme.org and make your intention to be an organ donor clear. In the United States, more than half of the adults in the United States have signed up on a registry, either at registerme.org or at the DMV when they get the driver's license. And so showing your intention to be an organ donor and making sure that your loved ones know, making sure that your family knows, so that's not a surprise to them and they can carry out your wishes. That's what you can do to help, because there are lots and lots of folks who are waiting, and every donation really makes a difference.
Yeah. And we were talking about some milestones. I mean, 40 years is no small feat. Talk about some of the milestones that you guys just accomplished even within the last year.
Sure. We also, in the United States last year, we did more than 41,000 transplants. That's the first time that number's ever been reached, not only in the United States, but in any country in the world. The American system is the largest organ donation and transplant system in the world, and it grows every single year.
That is really impressive. So again, if people at home want to help out, what is that website one more time, Brian?
registerme.org.
All right, easy enough. So thank you for everything that you guys are doing. More years to come. I hope the success continues for you guys. 40 years is truly inspirational. So Brian, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. We'll have more 12 About Town today coming up right after the break.